My boyfriend made me cry for the first time in my entire life. I, 26F, and my boyfriend, 27M, have been dating since the last 6 months. He's the dream man with the whole package, but he doesn't open up to me about anything and doesn't let me show affection, physically or verbally, to him, but does show me the same and lets me open to him. He and I had several talks about this, and he said he's trying his best, but the several relationships that he has had, he'd been cheated on and laughed at after he'd just opened up to them. And also he got rejected several times just because he was too nice and empathetic, so he has trust issues and really just can't open up to me instantaneously, but acknowledged and apologized for me feeling unaccomplished and assured me several times that it's not me, it's he himself, and he'll work on it. So this carried on until about last Thursday when he came over to my house after work. He seemed genuinely off and was in a really bad mood. He didn't look at me and I immediately jumped to him, and he has always pushed me away gently, saying that he's fine. I tried making more attempts but just got denied, so I sat him down and made food for us. We ate in silence, and then he washed both of our dishes and he asked if he can leave. I obviously said no, and then he collapsed on the couch. Again I tried making attempts to get near him without being pushed away, and when he leaned on the sofa he began tearing up. Obviously I got near him and held his head, and then he started crying full on, and then I laid back and made him lean on me, but he resisted. He was full on crying and he resisted. He was squirming to get off me, but I held him to me and started crying too. I begged him to stay, that I am not gonna hurt him and that I'm always gonna stay no matter what. He still resisted and was pushing away with all his might, and I was just begging him to stay and that he can be vulnerable with me and I'm not gonna leave him, and I swore on my life that I'd stay. He still was resisting, and I literally bawled out that it's not fair that you deal with this alone, and it's not fair to me that he pushes me away all the time. I swore again on my life that I'm here to stay. He finally stopped resisting and just collapsed onto me. I hugged him tight, showered him with forehead kisses, and held him for a long, long time. We cried for hours together. I never let go and he didn't too. He eventually fell asleep and I scratched his head while still in tears. He really did open up to me. He really became vulnerable, and he did take a leap of faith, and he did it for me. He did it, no matter what happened, and he did it for me. Next morning he woke up and he obviously was startled at first, but when he came to his senses he relaxed his muscles and his jaw. We cried again and then we both kissed for a very long time. We got up after that and he was very carefully staring at me while I made breakfast. We ate, him still watching me, and then he sweetly touched my waist with his fingers and kissed me goodbye as he left for work. Since then he just seems very light, and unlike his confident and straightforward blunt self, shy when he's alone with me and also stuttering a lot when he talks to me. That is dangerously cute and sweet for me, and I am falling for him even more. I'll never forget that moment when he collapsed onto me, because what he did requires enormous amounts of courage after what he had been through, and I'm in love with him for that.